everybody. Come on in. We are live on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. For some reason, my days are a little off, and it's not even spring break for me yet. So, spring break doesn't start until the weekend. I can't wait. It's in my mind. I'm already seeing the end, even though it's Tuesday. So let me do a sound check and make sure you can hear me and all that good stuff. Okay, let's see if we can. All right, yes. I can hear myself very well. All right, wonderful. So as you come in, don't forget to say hello to me. Say where you're watching from, what you're doing, what you got going on Tuesday evening. You know, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm West Coast time. I know a lot of you are across the state, and it's going into the wee hours of 10 a.m. Well, I call it wee hours for me because that's usually when I start getting myself ready and in bed and stuff. I know I'm a little boring like that, but hey. So sometimes I do it at 9 o'clock. It just depends on how tired I am. So for those of you who have never seen me before, and this is your first time watching one of my Facebook Lives, welcome. My name is Kathy Michelle, and I coach enthusiastic entrepreneurs and teach them how to use the skills and knowledge that they have to build a side hustle business so that they can create additional streams of income. And so one of those ways that I do that as an educator for the past, 26 years is I have books on Amazon. So I've gotten, a lot of people, asking me questions about being an entrepreneur and having a side hustle with books and being self-published and all those things. So I created some informational videos to help you guys understand this whole process becoming a self-published author. Oh my gosh, it sounds huge, but it really is not when you just kind of break it down. And that's really why I'm doing these Facebook Lives this week, so I can break it down, ease your mind, let you know it's not this huge thing that you have to, hunker down and hibernate in some, cabin for 6 months to write a book. Okay, doesn't have to be that way. Okay, so yesterday I did a Facebook Live about how I used to self-sabotage myself by thinking that, hey, if I don't have anything to write about, or I'm not sure about what to write about, then I can't be an author, kind of thing. And that wasn't the case. So if you didn't check out that video, go back and look at my live streams on my business page, and you'll see that one from yesterday, where I talked about how you can have low content or no content books, and they will sell. Because I have sold, I have two kind of low content books, so those have sold. So that's what we talked about yesterday. So today's topic is how I used to self-sabotage myself by thinking that I don't have any photos to put in a book, and I don't want to pay, some high-priced photographer to, do all these photos and things like that. I just didn't want to spend that money, on this process of creating a book. And so that was one of the things that used to stop me from writing the book. I just was like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't know how much it costs to do it, that kind of thing. So I'm here to bust that myth, bust this excuse number 2, that you don't need to hire some high-priced photographer to take pictures so you can have them in your book. So it doesn't matter what kind of book you have, whether it's a cookbook or whether it's a picture book for kids or just a manual for a how-to type of thing. There are lots of books sorry, there are lots of photos out there that are free, okay? And so it's called royalty free. And you might hear that sometimes with royalty free music, royalty free videos and animations, those kind of things. So in almost all those areas, you can find things that are royalty free, okay? And royalty free just means that this is free from copyright restrictions. So that means it's like a Creative Commons public domain. So it's kind of like it's open to whoever wants to use it, basically. So it means that you can use the pictures or whatever it is you're getting free, royalty-free stuff. You can use the pictures, the photographs, whatever it is for, making copies and ads and modifying them, those kind of things. Let me give you an example. Like this is one of my books. So this picture here, I didn't take this picture. This is a royalty-free picture. But it's modified, okay? Obviously, you can't see the kids cutting I think they're vegetables. Yeah, they're cutting some vegetables. You can't see them. So this is, a modified royalty-free, picture that was used for the book cover. So there's many ways you can do it. You might just show a hand. You might, you can use the full-on picture, but there's certain things you have to make sure you look for on these royalty-free websites. And so I want to make sure I go into that a little more deeply so you can get a clear idea of what is okay and what's not okay. Okay, so when you go to these royalty-free websites, you need to look at the license that they have. Okay, so for example, Pixabay. Okay, Pixabay is one of the probably most popular websites that have royalty-free photographs, videos. I think they have animation and things there too, but I've only used their photographs. Okay, so it's very popular, and they have very vibrant pictures. Like they look very professional type pictures. And all you do is you just type in, let's say you want a picture of a cat or, whatever it is. And you type in cats and you just get all these pictures of cats, brown cats and gray cats and black cats, whatever. And basically it will say, maybe under each picture, or it might say, this row of pictures are, royalty free. Or they might say something like, you have to give an attribute for the picture. So that just means you have to give credit, because usually whoever took the picture, their name is going to be there. And it might say you need to give attributes or credit to the person who took the picture, basically. So let's say the author, this is me, the author down here. And if I had a, picture from whoever, if I wanted to give them credit, I could put their name on here and say photographs by, and that person who did it. But most royalty-free pictures don't require you to give any kind of attributes or credits. It's totally up to you. If you say, hey, picture photographed by blah, you don't have to. If it says no permissions needed, if it says you don't have to give credit to the artist, you don't have to do it. So it's all protected under their license for that website. So like I said, I'm using Pixabay as an example. So Pixabay has their license. Each website has their own license. So you have to read carefully, because sometimes they'll say, oh, free, royalty-free pictures, but then you have to sign up for a membership and pay a monthly fee. And then you get all these free pictures, So sometimes there's, a little fine print there. And as soon as you click on a picture, it'll say, oh, I need you to, to sign up for an account for a membership. It's going to cost you, $10 a month or 20, whatever it is, And sometimes you have to think about the picture. Let's say this picture had a logo. Let's say this was Nike. This kid had on a Nike or Polo shirt. If you use that picture with a logo of, obviously something well known, something like that, then you run the risk of getting into some trademark, kind of rights things. So I wouldn't use any pictures that have any kind of logo from any, well-known brand stuff. You can edit it or blot it out, whatever, or just like I said, just only show maybe half, of that person's hand or whatever, so to cover up the logo, because you definitely don't want to be caught up in any kind of trademark issue because you got a little Nike sign on your cover of your book or in your book, and you, of course, you don't have permission from Nike to use it, but somebody might have accidentally, because normally they don't do that, but somebody might have accidentally, put a picture of there showing a brand logo. So you don't want to do that, okay? Another thing, make sure you check the license that shows whether it's okay to use for social media platforms, okay? So like I do ads all the time on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and what else? So many of them, Tumblr. I do ads all the time. And so you got to make sure it's okay to use those pictures on a social media platform. And usually it will, say it right then and there. Okay to use for social media, okay to use for commercial use. What are some of the other things I've heard? Those are pretty much the main things that it will say, okay for commercial use in social media. Sometimes it'll be real specific, okay for book covers, okay for posters. Sometimes it'll just spell it all out, which is good, okay? So I would definitely, look for things just spelled out right there. You can see it right there. So whenever you go to a website with royalty-free information, pictures, videos, whatever, just go click on at the bottom, it'll say license or something like that. Click on there and read the license carefully so you don't get in trouble. Almost all the license royalty-free websites will have something that tells you what's not allowed as well, and they'll usually list those. So this is a general one. Not saying that they're all going to have these things, but most of them will say you cannot resell a picture from their website. So let's say you get a picture of a dog from Pixabay. You cannot go on another website and sell that picture of a dog. So it's kind of like, no, you just got that for free from us. So you can't, turn around and go make a profit by selling the same photo, so that kind of thing. So you can't do that. You usually can't use it as like wallpaper for your phone or something like that, because it's infringing on, the license that they have for using those pictures and things. You cannot use one of their pictures in a inappropriate way. Okay, so I'm sure I don't have to go in detail on that. So nothing that shows, sometimes I trip out because some of the memes. Hey, Regina. Some of the memes, that goes on Facebook. I'm just like, God, do these people know that folks are laughing at their little babies' pictures? I don't know if those pictures are free, royalty-free stuff, but I'm just like, whoa, So you got to be careful of that. You cannot get a free picture off one of these websites and then do something negative with it or inappropriate with it. Okay, that's gonna, that's just wrong anyway. Y'all should know better. So you don't want to do that. Okay. Just because you're using somebody else's picture does not mean they endorse your product. Okay. So don't get a picture from, let's say the lady's name is Lucy from Pixabay, and say, yeah, Lucy from Pixabay loves this, creamy caramel, da-da-da-da-da, and you got a picture of some caramel. No, you can't do that. Okay. So you cannot use their company as an endorsement for whatever you're selling or using it for. Okay. And let's see, anything else? I think that's about it. Okay. So this is not a long Facebook Live because it's just, pretty much talking about photos and how that should not be a hindrance for you to use photos in a book if you want to. You don't have to put pictures in a book, okay, but they do enhance the books, okay? So, I must say, back in the day when I did this book, I wrote this book in 2014, I think, back before it was all these fancy, cameras and things and the iPhones. And so I'm like really, I'm really ashamed of some of these pictures that I put in this book. But, it's like I didn't even think about layouts and, it's a clean picture, but it was just like, ooh, sometimes when I go back and look at my first book from, gosh, it's almost been, 2014. It had to be 2014. Yeah. So I created in 2014 and published it in 2016. So so these definitely weren't the high quality, high resolution pictures, that you want to put in a book, but they serve the purpose of the book of showing like, okay, these are the stages that we went through to create the business. Like this is like when we leased the place, it was a shell, cement floors and no kitchen and no electricity for the ovens and stuff. So I wanted to show readers of the book like, hey, we started out from the ground up and built a kitchen. Let me show you the before and then let me show you the after. So it served its purpose back then, but now I would definitely lay out my pictures a lot better, I mean, one day I might go back and redo this book. And that's another thing, the wonderful thing about self-publishing. If you don't like, let's say you want to change a chapter in your book, or you want to go back and rewrite the whole thing, or if I want to go back and put better pictures and lay them out better, you can anytime you want. All you do is upload the new version. So I wouldn't take down your book and just, stop it from being bought. All you do is you work on your new manuscript with all the changes that you want, and then you upload the new version. That's all you do. That's it. And then it's live within about 24 hours. And then whoever, if it's in between that old version and new version, if someone buys it in between that time, they're going to get the old version. But, like I said, within about 24 hours time, the new version would be on Amazon, and whoever buys it after that will get the new version. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Just because you put it up there, like I did, 3 years ago, doesn't mean you can't go back and change some things if you want to. Okay. But I probably won't go back and change it because I'm just like, ooh, I don't want to, I'm ready to move forward. Your first book is going to be like your sloppy copy. Those of us who are educators, we know that term, your sloppy copy, is just like, okay, you're going to make your mistakes. I know there's probably a few editing, punctuation mistakes, even though I had paid somebody to go through and proofread and edit, there's still mistakes. But, it happens, you make mistakes. Okay, that was my sloppy copy. The first, manuscript was my sloppy copies. People still bought it. Okay, that didn't stop people from buying it and using the information to go ahead and create their own business. So, hey, it's all good. So when you know better, you do better. So now I know next time, hey, Carrie, now I know next time to, lay out my pictures a little better, use a better quality, picture from one of these royalty-free websites. And for those of you who are ready to get your teeth into creating your first ebook, starting this Sunday at 7 o'clock, and you see it in the description at the at the top, now's the time to dig in, get started. We have busted another excuse, okay? So you can get started writing your ebook and having it uploaded and done by the end of the month so you can start making that extra money, okay? Because I want you to see how easy it is. Once you do that first one, it's just going to be so much easier to keep going and keep going and keep going, okay? So we will talk about this more in the course, and starting on Sunday, you'll actually get a resource list of all the royalty-free websites that I know about. I'll talk about the ones that I recommend. I also have some that focus more on I would say women of color or people of color, those kind of websites. Because sometimes it's hard to find pictures of people of color. That is like hard to really, it's like, but I will share with you a resource list with all the websites and information about those so that you have a list. You can go, pick out whichever one works for you, find your royalty-free pictures, put them into your manuscript so that when it's time to upload your ebook on Amazon, it's all laid out nice and pretty the way you like it, okay? So if you have any questions, make sure you put it in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, go ahead and put some questions in there. Let me know you're watching, say hello. I will come back and look at the stream of comments and give you an answer to any questions that you might have. Reminder, the course starts Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be in a private Facebook group just for the people who pay for the course, which is at a spring break price of $35. So because I'm going on spring break this weekend, I'm giving you guys a deal on it, okay? So even though I did sign up to work a couple of days over spring break, but it's all good. It's all good. So, but I want to give you guys a little bit of a break, spring break in the price for $35. After the 14th, the price will increase. So get in, okay? So be there or don't be square, kind of thing. I know it's corny. I'm a little L7 sometimes. But anywho, so I will say good night. Everyone have a good time. And tomorrow, what are we talking about tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wednesday. So we'll talk about book covers, okay? Because I know that's another big excuse that people talk about. Oh, book cover, book cover. So we'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow. So I will see you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your evening.